right. Hi, everyone. I think I'm live. Yes, perfect. Well, like it or not, sleep is something that many people struggle with. And it is not surprising given the stress that we carry with us day in and day out. Some people find it hard to fall asleep, while others might find it hard to stay asleep. Maybe they can fall asleep, but they have trouble staying asleep. Or that once they do wake up in the middle of the night that they're unable to fall back asleep again. While others still, they may find themselves tired and exhausted upon waking, even if they did get a full night's sleep. So what's going on here? What are we doing wrong? Hi, I'm Dora, holistic stress and resilience coach from Dora Chan Yoga. Welcome to my Tuesday Connect, where we talk about various topics on how to achieve whole person wellness in body, mind, and soul. So today we're talking about sleep. And you will probably know that sleep is essential to good health. But maybe we don't understand just how important it is. Every single biological system in our bodies is affected by the quantity and quality of sleep that we get. Sleep is a huge topic, and I won't try to tackle it in any in-depth way today. It's just impossible. There's so much we can talk about here. But if you are interested in learning more about the topic of sleep, I highly recommend you read the book written by Matthew Walker. The book is called Why We Sleep. This book goes into all the latest research around how sleep affects virtually every system, organ, and cell of our body. So, without going into details, sleep affects how we metabolize our food. It controls or influence our hunger cues, so therefore our appetite, when we get hungry. It affects our immune system, our endocrine system, which regulates our hormones. It affects the way we age. It affects the shape of our brain structure, as well as how it functions. It affects our energy levels, our mood, emotions, our nervous system, and it affects our body's ability to restore, rejuvenate, and to heal, and much more. Now, curiously, as Matthew Walker points out in his book, human beings are the only species that would purposely deprive ourselves of sleep on purpose. When a creature out in nature, when a creature is tired and it feels safe enough to do so, it will sleep. But not us. We would be tired, but we would make ourselves stay up for things like social events or catching up on work or wanting those extra couple of hours to ourselves, especially those of us who are parents who feel like finally when the kids are asleep, this is me time and I want to make the most out of it. So there are many things that keep us up at night that we are kind of imposing onto our bodies. Our bodies might want to sleep, but we choose to stay awake. It's almost like we think sleep is a time thief, right? And that we want to stay awake for as long as we can and add more hours in our day. But this actually doesn't work in the long run, and you'll end up paying the consequences in a big way if you don't start taking your sleep seriously. Now, when we don't get enough sleep or when we don't get enough good quality sleep, our bodies and minds suffer. Even though we may have, added more hours in a day for ourselves, we would actually end up being less productive because of bad sleep or not enough sleep. And for instance, consequences that we may experience from not having enough sleep is that our cognitive functioning decreases. We are less creative and innovative. We find it hard to focus or concentrate, And that means staying on task, right? When we have something to do, we find it hard to stay focused. We have a tendency towards procrastination. So, of course, when we kind of lose focus, we find things to distract ourselves. Our memory capacity decreases. We feel physically less energetic. We often experience bad mood. We are more irritable and impatient. And we are more emotionally reactive. We are also more prone to falling sick. Now, as you can see, those few hours at a day that you add in at the by not sleeping, right? This actually causes you more harm than good. So rather getting more done, which you perceive you're getting more done because you were awake for longer, but perhaps, more than likely, you're probably getting the same amount of work done, but rather than doing it in a shorter period of time, you're kind of just dragging it out longer. And in addition, like I said, all those things that are affected when we're not getting enough sleep, the quality of our work is decreased. And on top of that, our health will deteriorate, which affects the quality of life as well as future ability to stay productive. So, what can we do? Like I said, sleep is a complex topic, and if you are worried about your sleep problem, I highly recommend that you see a sleep specialist to help you uncover the root cause of your sleep issue. But generally speaking, stress is one of the big reasons why many of us are not finding restful sleep at night. Stress and anxiety affect our ability to fall asleep and to stay asleep. And I'm sure many of you probably have experienced nights where you find your mind racing, thinking, ruminating about something. And no matter how tired you are, your mind refuses to turn off, right? So your stress levels during the day will also affect how well you sleep at night. One of our stress hormones, cortisol, is linked to and affects our sleep cycle. And so when we don't sleep, funny enough, this itself is a form of stress, so this exacerbates the problem. So let me share with you a few simple things that you can implement right away that you might find it helpful to help you gain more restful sleep. So, tip number 1, as the sun gets low outside, also try to keep the lights low inside your house. Our bodies run on a circadian rhythm, and sunlight is the biggest cue to our bodies about what time of day it is. And it prompts our bodies to shift into different physiological states. So when we continue to use bright lights indoors, even when the sun has set, this kind of tells the body that it's not quite night yet. And this can get a bit confusing to the body as to when it is that you should go to bed, right? So it's hard to get your body to go to bed when it still thinks that it's daytime. So if you turn your indoor lights low, you kind of start to mimic and prepare the body that, okay, we're getting less light now. And so it is time to wind down. Now, if you are unable to keep the lights low indoors, you may consider getting a pair of blue light blocking glasses or amber glasses, which blocks out a lot of the blue lights and lights that might tell the body that it's not quite night yet. You can start wearing those in the evening. Now, since we're on the topic of the circadian rhythm, to help our body clock get back in sync, it is recommended to go outside and get some sunlight first thing in the morning, or as close to waking as possible. So spending about a good 15-20 minutes outside in the sun if you can. Now, sunlight is the best way to sync up your body clock. And as much as you can, even spending as much time outdoors, even during the day, can be so helpful. Now, if that's not possible, see if you can allow more natural lighting to enter into your work or living space. Now, the third thing is be consistent with your sleeping and waking time. So you want to try your best to be regular with when you go to bed and when you wake up. And this means no sleeping in on the weekends. I mean, you can give yourself a bit of a leeway, maybe about half an hour, at most 45 minutes, but you wouldn't want to start to, have a really late night, say Friday night, and you don't go to bed till, the wee hours in the morning, and then you wake up at noon, right? When your normal schedule might be that you wake up at 7. So, it is really important to be consistent. If you are tired and you are trying to catch up on sleep over the weekend, it is better to catch up on sleep as naps so that you're still keeping your regular sleep and wake time, but you're taking more naps during the day to catch up on sleep if you must. Because the idea here is that like I said, your body runs on the circadian rhythm, and if you keep a certain schedule during the week and then a completely wildly different one on the weekend, what you're actually doing is that you're putting your body through mini jet lags throughout the week. And this can take a toll on the body, especially if this is a chronic thing. If this continues for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you have 5 days of catching up, and then you completely, um, turn your schedule upside down over the weekends, and then your body is trying to catch up and find its norm during the week, and then you throw it out of balance again. So this is kind of like just your body fluctuating wildly, trying to come into harmony, come into sync, and it's just not getting there. And so, I understand sometimes, we have a weekend here or there that might be out of norm. And that's not such a big issue if generally, normally you are finding balance. So, yeah, so we want to try to keep, if you don't have a consistent schedule yet, we want to start creating one, and we want to start sticking to it as best as we can. So, like I said, our body, there are many biological systems in our body, and a lot of these systems run on some sort of cycle, okay? And these cycles are intertwined with our sleep cycle. So, we do need to come back into sync and into harmony and be consistent, find a healthy rhythm if we want to be and stay healthy. Now, another tip is opt for quieter and more relaxing activities in the evening. Give your body some time to wind down. This starts a few hours before you plan to go to bed, not just, the half an hour, an hour before you go to bed. You want to be setting this up, a few hours, winding down in those few hours, preparing yourself for bed. So things like a nice restorative yoga practice, a short practice could be nice. Even just some, gentle stretches or gentle movements at night, or maybe a walk outside, a gentle stroll after dinner. It's good for digestion. It's good for many people, it can be quite relaxing. A hot bath is a great way to help to soothe the nervous system and prepare your body for sleep. Bit of Epsom salt bath can be beautiful. Make sure that the temperature in the bedroom is optimal for sleep. Okay? So our bodies fall asleep easier and stay asleep better in a cooler room. So a recommended temperature for sleeping is about 65 degrees Fahrenheit or around about 18 degrees Celsius. Now, and instead of perhaps watching TV at night to unwind, I'm not saying don't do it, but maybe you can try this out. What if you read a book instead, or do something that's away from the screen? Okay, a lot of the times the electronic devices, actually increase our the sympathetic nervous system, or increase the activation of the sympathetic nervous system, and so this doesn't help us to come to a relaxed state for sleep. And so maybe doing something that is a little bit different. So if you tend to be on your screen all the way up till bedtime, what if you were to switch them off a couple of hours before and do something like reading a book, journaling, anything else, that doesn't require a screen. Try it out for a couple of weeks to a month and see how that works for you. Now, as I've said, stress is a huge factor in our sleep, and our physiological and emotional states during the day sets the tone for how our nights will go. So, practices that can help you find more balance in your nervous system during the day will also help you to get better sleep at night. Yoga, meditation, and other mindfulness practices have been shown to improve sleep. Now, I'm trained in something called integrative restoration, or iRest for short. So, iRest, Yoga Nidra Meditation, which has been shown to decrease stress, anxiety, and improve insomnia, amongst many other things. So, finding time for more of these kinds of practices during the day, and then perhaps ending the night with a nice guided meditation, even a meditation that perhaps you'll just put on and fall asleep to, could be really nice. Now, you can go to the iRest website, which is irest.org, where you find many free guided meditations, iRest meditations for stress, anxiety, and sleep, amongst many other things. You can also find many Yoga Nidra guided meditations in the free app called Insight Timer. And if you are looking for more personalized support, I do private one-on-one sessions as well as a monthly group session around iRest, all its teachings, and meditation. So I hope that this was helpful to you today. If you have any questions or if you need more support on managing your stress or improving your sleep, I'd be more than happy to hop on a call with you and share some tips, tools, and practices with you and help point you in the right direction. So now, if you enjoy this mini training, make sure to follow me at Dora Chan Yoga. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I also have a private Facebook group called DCY Community, supporting strong women heal from stress holistically. In that group, I stream these live trainings every week, but also share resources, tips, and tools, and any special offers I also put into that group first. So I'll drop the link in the comments below if you want to join me there. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is. Drop your comments below. And if you have any questions, let me know. Until next time, I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone. Bye now.